And we welcome you live to the Greensboro Ice House for the start of this game, the start of these two teams' seasons. It's the Wake Forest Demon Deacons and the Appalachian State University Mountaineers. I'm Graham Tuck with Ben Shelton bringing you the call tonight. App State wearing their black unis, and Wake Forest, for the start of their season, they're starting off in their new unis, these new golds with the running Deacon on the front. We'll start things off with a hesitation on the face-off, and Wake Forest will win it, and we're underway. Starting goalies for the two squads, it'll be Nicholas Wilcox for the Mountaineers. And here come the Neers quickly, right off the start, a save for starting netminder for the Deeks. That is Owen Palombo, the freshman, getting his first start in his first game, and did not take him long at all to get into game action. A breakaway right out of the gates. And a good chance for the Mountaineers, number 93. He's not in our program, not listed on the roster, so don't have a number for him. But, hey, off to a fast start here, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, App State already having a good save there by Palombo, but just keeping this energy high. Both teams want to start off the season with a win, and hopefully we'll get some good energy and some good plays here from both teams.
So here come the Neers into the zone. They'll carry it on the backhand, centering pass that time, looking for Miller, and then Johnson will send it down.
Brady had a great entrance to the zone for App State and had a great pass there, but just a little off the pace.
Farland gets it in for the Deeks, who have been on their heels here in the first minute. Miller tried to send it ahead for his teammate Brady. It's outside of his reach. And here's a penalty coming up to the Mountaineers right out of the gates. Oh my goodness. A shove thrown by Brady. It knocked the Deeks right into the official, and now we'll finally have that play blown dead. And an early power play coming for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, I mean, Demon Deacons get a great opportunity here. Not even 2 minutes into this game, and just an incredible way to start off this game if you're the Demon Deacons. Sure, you let up that chance, but you get a save, and now get him right into the box.
So App State, who started out buzzing, they're going to head to the box here. And so the power play for Wake Forest gets its first chance early on. Face-off won by the Deeks, but they can't keep the zone. Azrello, the freshman center, won it, and it goes all the way back to Palombo. Into the zone cleanly are the Deeks. It's Kane. Kane, the blue line, sends it down low to Kirby. Back to Kane. He'll play catch with James McGregor. There's a shot that's blocked, and a rebound chance off the block by Moffitt. Comes to the wall. Here's a chance for the Deeks, and a big first save made by Nicholas Wilcox with the blocker. Back up top for McGregor. Touch pass and a seeing eye one. This one's through traffic and on to Wilcox, who holds on. That was a good shift that time for the Deeks.
Yeah, a couple of high scoring chances right there. Doing a great job at sending the pucks on deep. On to Nicholas Wilcox, the senior out of Albany, New York. But the Demon Deacons doing a great job at keeping the energy up, as they weren't really ready for that.
Oh, and there's a chance that was nearly poked home, but the captain for the Deeks, Casper, sends it all the way out. There's an interception, shorthanded chance for the Mountaineers, but a good stick from Brereton. Now the Neers will send it deep again. Big hit thrown by the penalty-killing Mountaineer. Now they'll come up the ice. Will the Demon Deacons on the power play still for the next 32 seconds. Power play started off really strong for the Deacs, but has since suffered. And here's another penalty coming to the Mountaineers. And we'll see who's heading to the box. It's number 51. Don't have a name attached to that number. But it'll be a brief 5-on-3 power play for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, the Demon Deacons need to take some charge here. They need to really just continue to pressure up. They have this unique opportunity already with 2 guys in the box for the Mountaineers, and we'll see who can win the draw and get some pressure up here.
And they're waiting for the clock to be reset. It started rolling too soon. And they'll finally get it underway, but Appalachian State, they're going to come out the benefit of that situation as some time rolled off the clock that they didn't expect to. So a couple seconds short will this power play be.
Patrick Casey doing a great job there, getting the puck in deep and helping the penalty killers there for the Mountaineers.
So now just a one-man advantage for Wake Forest. And another clear down by the Mountaineer penalty killers, who have looked good since that first shift.
Yeah, they led up some good shot opportunities to Wake in that first little stretch of the power play, but now have looked really solid, getting a lot of defensive plays and also really just sending the puck in deep and wasting time of this Demon Deacons power play.
That play blown dead for offsides. And now into the zone again, the Demon Deacon power play. App State still shorthanded. They'll pin it up against the boards in the corner. They're content to just milk time off of this penalty. Here come the Deacs on the power play on the backhand. Tried the wrap chance, and it's forked wide.
Demon Deacons doing a great job at getting the pucks across the crease and getting some good opportunities.
And here they'll send it out. Strong forecheck, shorthanded from the Mountaineers. They're coming out of the gates buzzing here. Groves brings it in, but he's offsides. And then a near knee-to-knee hit after the play, and Jackson Winthrop lost his skate blade. Somehow didn't fall.
Yeah.
So he'll head back to the bench.
Good balance there from Winthrop, the freshman defenseman. Speaking of freshmen, the amount of freshmen that are on this Wake Forest Demon Deacons team is incredible. They have a lot of new guys coming into the season, and only almost 12 of them, I believe, that are returners, and the rest are freshmen of their 30-man lineup. So a relatively young team for this Demon Deacons team.
So Rogers for the Mountaineers will send it to the boards. Peterson trying to dig it out. And Hogervorst sends it deep for the Mountaineers. Fired in by the Deacs, but they had a long 5-on-3 and were unable to capitalize as Wilcox melts it down.
Great penalty killing there from the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Though the Demon Deacons had a lot of momentum going into that and really just took a lot of great shots and had a lot of great opportunities, they weren't able to capitalize. And App State looking to really just continue their energy and their dominance, starting off on the penalty kill, but hoping that they keep this going.
Well, Casper for the Mountaineers sent it down, but Brady wins the race, no icing. I thought for sure that one was going to get brought back, but he had trust in his forward speed. Backhanded back in by the Mountaineers. Well, in this building tonight already, Ben, we've seen one team from the AAU D2 division take down an ACHA M2 team. With High Point victorious 5-3 over the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. That's a massive win for that team. And App State's playing pretty well right out of the gates against this M2 ACHA foe, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. These two teams play each other at the very beginning of the season every year.
Yeah, it's a matchup that both teams have had circled on their calendars for a very long time. constant rivalry games, as you mentioned. They're playing each other constantly, and
there's a chance that's broken up, but Casper keeps the blue line. Had it roll up on him, but a good stick lift. Otherwise, it would have been a 2-on-1 led by Matthew Kirby, the freshman forward for the Deacs.
yeah, Casper making a little bit of a mistake there, but then he makes up for it with that incredible stick lift to make sure that they're not.
For it.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can't complain about that.
Kept in at the blue by the Mountaineers D-man Bondgren. And then batted out of midair by Casey. Tried to chip it back in, but instead it's into the netting and out of play. 13:09 left to go. First period, still scoreless.
Yeah, this App State team being led by a handful of returners, such as Robbie Richter, number 27, who's back on the lineup from last season. And just a lot of guys, a lot of new guys for both these squads. And some that really turn heads.
There's a centering pass. And it'll be broken up by the Demon Deacons. Now, call me crazy. I think that might be Richter in the number 93 jersey. He's the only guy on that App State team tall enough to be Robbie Richter, and there's no way that he wouldn't have seen the ice yet. He's not in his number 27 jersey, at least as best that I can tell from looking at the bench.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him on the ice yet in a number 27. And considering we don't have a number 93 in our programs and that guy's gotten a lot of ice time, that's the logical conclusion that I'll draw.
Yeah, I like your game of Clue there real fast.
Presley putting in work on the boards for the Mountaineers. Another shot finds its way to the end boards. And now the Deacons will start to try to break out yet again. It's been a swarm from the Mountaineers so far. And an active stick there that time by Mountaineers defenseman Johnson. And then Johnson will get it back on his tape, send it to the near wall, all the way down.
This forechecking by the App State Mountaineers
it's been unreal.
Incredible, incredible.
They came out swinging to start this first period of the first game of the season.
Yeah, haven't given Wake much of a chance to capitalize on anything other than those two penalties. But, I mean, 10 minutes into the game, this looks like a great, evenly matched game so far.
Here come the Deacs, and they will score. What a play. Oh, no, I saw the official point, and everybody cheered, but the save made by Wilcox.
Just a little miscommunication there from the goalies, or excuse me, from the referees. But Wilcox making a good save there. You know, one thing that I'm really looking at.
Oh boy, here we go. Here comes Rogers. Through the hand of the defenseman Winthrop. Rogers shot. He scores. That time it will count. Ace Roger, the freshman. And it's 1-0 Mountaineers.
Yeah, Asa Roger, just an incredible freshman that came into this team. You know, coming from Matthews, North Carolina, playing for the Queen City Royals. He's no, he's used to scoring these goals, Graham, and has 33 of them in 50 games played for the Queen City Royals. And here's another chance.
Here they come. That one's over the crossbar, and they'll keep things moving here. The Mountaineers got off to a fantastic start. They took 2 penalties, but killed off the long 5-on-3. And they get on the board here with Asa Rogers' first goal as a Mountaineer. And you mentioned it, he put up big numbers with Queen City Royals. There's another chance. And a nice rebound save there by Palumbo. And, you know, if that one leaks through him, you've got a situation where your goalie's in your head. 2 goals allowed early, only not even 10 minutes left, or 10 minutes gone in the first period, I should say. So it's a big save for Palumbo, even though it might not have looked like it.
Yeah, and Palumbo needs to keep his head up. Just a young guy in his first game. It's in club hockey. You know, you just want to make sure that he's feeling confident, he's feeling good, and he's going to continue to push on. And Palumbo, that freshman from Boston, Mass, you know, just a great player. And just an unfortunate start to his career here as a Wake Forest Demon Deacon.
Well, it was a down year last year for Wake Forest. They missed the playoffs for the first time and since I can remember. I mean, Wake Forest has been a staple in the ACCHL playoffs, and they just narrowly missed the cut last year with a loss to Elon very late in the season, and they're looking to bounce back. Like we mentioned already, they've got a very revamped roster, a lot of freshmen, a lot of talent, but so far tonight, the Mountaineers' new talent has been the bigger storyline, at least so far. I mean, up 1-0, they've been the better team so far. And Brady wasn't able to muscle by Kane, and another chance for the Mountaineers and a save made by Palumbo. Kane gets it ahead to Azrello. Azrello, dangles through. Azrello draws a penalty, and it'll be touched up by the Mountaineers. Look at the display of skill from the freshman. Nick Azrello draws the penalty, the third of the period for App State, and it'll be another power play as Casper goes to the box for a hook.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an incredible dangle. Just doing a great job of getting around his defender, drawing that penalty. Really had him just right in front, but unfortunately gets tripped up. And I mean, if you're App State, you might live with that call because that was a great opportunity there. But App State already with 3 penalties here in the first period. We're not even 12 minutes in.
So another chance on the power play for the Demon Deacons. And we mentioned Azrello wearing the number 29 jersey. Casey's going to bat that one with a high stick, so the Demon Deacons will control it. That's a big jersey number to step into. Number 29 in gold. That was Andrew Gebhardt's number, and when he played at Wake Forest, was an absolute force. And the team missed him dearly last season, both on and off the ice, and now they'll try to get the breakout going here yet again. That pass splits a couple of App State defenders. Drop pass to Azrello, sent to the slot. Nice hit there, and it allows the defenseman to clear.
Yeah, App State showing that they know how to kill penalties, and they're doing an incredible job of it again here so far.
Ahead to Azrello. Oh, what a move by Richter on the penalty kill. He steps in and just makes the Demon Deacons split, and then throws a crushing hit after the fact as well.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to have to get a for sure name on that number 93 jersey for Appalachian State.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been all over this game, whether it's Richter or not. I mean, he's been incredible.
Well, Richter is listed on the active roster on the App State website, despite the fact that he didn't play in the second semester for App State last season. So we assumed that he would be returning, but maybe not the case. There's a big hit there by the Demon Deacons bench. And they've got 5 seconds left on this power play, at danger of falling to 0-3 on the power play, and that one sticked into the netting out of play. 2 seconds left on the man advantage.
Yeah, Presley doing a great job there for the Mountaineers. Just gets blown up over there near the Wake Forest bench, and Wake Forest needs to find some momentum here. I mean, again, this is a young team. Just their coach has been really just investing in the guys and what they've been doing here in this program. And like you said, it was a down year, so they're looking to bounce back, and this isn't a great way to start it off.
It was a down year for both of these teams last season. App State finished the year 6-9-1-2, as there's a save by Wilcox. I tell you what, Ben, 6-9-1-2 has got to be one of the weirdest records I've ever heard.
Yeah.
6 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie, and 2 overtime losses.
Yeah, it's not often that you see a whole lot of ties, but
actually, I apologize, 2 ties and 1 overtime loss.
Yeah, and when you look at that, the one thing that really sticks out is club hockey. We have ties. That's a thing. So it's on their record and not a usual one that you'll see anywhere else.
Yep, so the way that it works in club hockey is if a game is tied at the end of regulation, they'll play 5 minutes of overtime, and if the game is still not decided at the end of that, they'll call it. Unless it's a playoff game, of course, in which case it's continuous overtime.
Yeah.
Here's a chance in the slot for Miller for the Mountaineers. Casper will keep it in the zone after the clearance attempt by Weiland. That pass nearly ended up dangerously for Ernberg. Now here's a 2-on-1 for the Deeks. They'll come all the way in and unable to get a shot on there. Centering pass though, and a one-timer, backhanded chance. Wilcox kept it out.
Wilcox having a great couple of saves, and Casey, I believe, wearing the number 24 for the Mountaineers, just doing an incredible job there on the defense, just making so many stick checks, and it was a great play there defensively.
And we're back to 5-on-5 as Wilcox makes another save on a shot from the blue line. Hit thrown there along the end boards, and this puck will clear the zone. Does it have the legs for icing? No, it's waved off. 6 minutes left in the first, 1-0 Mountaineers. On the goal by the freshman Asa Roger. This puck is sent down. It was deflected, so no icing.
As we talk about this App State team, they had a completely revamp, not only of their team, but of their coaching staff. They had an entirely new coaching staff coming into the season. Head coach Matt Mungo and Kyle Moose and Evan Bradley and Bryce Trikus. They're just here and they're ready to coach up this team, this App State team. Like you said, they had a down year, but they made a lot of changes and hoping for a better year.
Well, I mean, you had to make changes after the way that season ended last year for the Mountaineers. I mean, they started off pretty solid, but if you look at the end of their season and go back to November 18th, they lost 7 of their last 8 games, most of those conference games, and the only team that they beat was Duke University, who hadn't won a game in 3 years at the time in which they played.
Wow.
And then they lose by a wide margin in the conference playoffs to Rowan. So the coaching staff gets an overhaul, the roster gets an overhaul, and it's resulted in an early lead in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a small sample size here.
Of course.
But it's something to look at. It's very important to know how these guys will start off the season, because they'll only get more of a teammate bond throughout the season and grow together more as hockey players.
Here comes Groves. Takes it all the way up the middle. Groves still cutting in. He's bodied off the puck, though, and Palumbo will cover.
Groves making a great play, getting it through the defender's legs, but just can't fight through it. And that's a great defensive play by the Deacons right in front of the net, having a one-on-one opportunity. But Groves doing a great job just creating an opportunity. This App State team has looked really good.
That they have. Here's a behind-the-back pass and a glove save by Palumbo on the shot from the blue line by Johnson. Palumbo has bounced back really nicely from that goal, though, I will say. He has looked solid ever since he let that one in.
Yeah, when you're looking at a guy like Palumbo, you want to make sure that, like I was mentioning earlier, he starts off his season good, and you just don't want him to get down and just think that, one goal means everything, because though it can mean a lot, it doesn't mean the end of this game.
That is absolutely correct, and this is icing against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and that shows a lot of maturity, too, from Palumbo. Just the freshman, but it just shows so much maturity. He can just bounce back, just think like, hey, this one goal isn't going to decide the whole game. I got faith in my teammates, and I'm going to play behind them.
There's a slapper that took a deflection in front. That was a great play. Set up by the Deacons. It's sent all the way down. Winning the race is Casey. He fires a shot right into the chest of Palumbo, and another big save for the freshman Tendy.
Casey just showing off his speed there. Beats 2 guys right up the middle of the ice. Beats the icing, everything like that, and gets a solid opportunity on the shot there. But Palumbo doing a great job, swallowing it up with the center of the jersey, and now we got a face-off.
Okay, so this is warning number 1 for a face-off violation against Appalachian State. We saw this in the last game between High Point and UNC. If there's another one, yep, that'll be it. This is a penalty coming up against Appalachian State for delay of game. This is a rule at most levels of hockey. And so this will be a power play coming up for the Deeks.
Yeah, that's the second time I've ever seen it been called, and both of them were today. Just an interesting call, and they get the guy, and App State, man, he is not happy in the bench, or in the penalty box. I should say. Number 51, which we do not have a number for. He was not happy about that call.
Oh, it's one of those situations with App State's uniforms where some of the jerseys have names on the back and then some of them don't. So, and then to match that up with the fact that we don't have names or numbers for some of these guys on the roster, so becomes a little bit difficult. But the Demon Deacons in this first period are going to get their 4th chance on the power play. They're 0 for 3, but no time like the present, Ben. I like to say that typically.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, oh, what a move that time. Getting all the way in is Brzezowski. Little deke around his man. And I mean, despite the fact that you're 0 for 3 on the power play, you're only down 1 if you're Wake Forest. So there's plenty of time to come back here.
Yeah, and all you need is more power plays.
Yep.
I mean, they'll break through eventually.
Collision in front of the net. Play kept up top. There's a deflection in front and a save made by Wilcox. And it looked that time like Bondgren shoved Brzezowski into the net.
Yeah.
Created a collision there.
I don't think that was intentional. I don't think Wilcox took it that way, which was nice.
He certainly didn't.
Yeah. Just no need for more fighting here at the Greensboro Ice House.
Just under 4 to play in Greensboro in the first period. A lot of traffic in front. That shot rings the crossbar. Wilcox had been screened and couldn't see it. This puck leaves the zone, though. That's the best chance so far for Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest, I mean, they need some more of those chances.
And the Deeks are offsides.
And less of those.
That's absolutely right.
But as we hit the last little bit of this period, I feel like the Demon Deacons are finally getting their feet under them. They had not a far drive at all, just a 30-minute drive over here to the Greensboro Ice House, if I'm not mistaken. But
it's a much longer drive for App State. And believe it or not, for the time being, this is both teams' home rink. And I don't know if you guys watching at home are as big of fanatics about North Carolina geography as I am, but it's a much longer drive for App State from Boone, North Carolina, than it is for Wake Forest from Winston-Salem. And like you mentioned, it's a 30-minute drive for Wake to this rink, but 20-ish minutes depending on traffic. But for App State, it's about an hour and a half, and this is the closest rink to them that has ice down at the moment. Right. Now, when we get farther into the year, they'll put the ice down at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, a building that all of us love so dearly. But they don't do that until after the fair is over in Winston-Salem, because that's the primary purpose of that building, despite the crowds that it draws for ice hockey. And unable to keep the zone that time was Cortez. But both of these teams utilize Greensboro as their home rink for the time being, and when it gets later into the year, they'll both utilize Winston-Salem, I should say, another big city with a W in North Carolina. But UNC Wilmington, they are starting their season tonight as well against High Point University's D3 team, and they'll take on High Point University D2 tomorrow. This is another delayed call coming up against the Mountaineers, and with under 2 minutes to go in the first, it will bleed over into the second, unless the Deeks can draw the equalizer here. And the crowd here not too happy about it. The App State fans are incensed. I mean, this has been a very sloppily played period in terms of the penalties for App State. I mean, this guy wearing number 51 that you see entering the box right now, this is the third time that he himself has entered the penalty box in this period. And Wake Forest just hasn't been able to capitalize.
No, that's such an interesting thing that, I mean, you're up 1-0, and you've been in the box 5 times. I mean, you gotta
break through at some point, you would think.
Right.
There's a shot through traffic, deflected, rebound, hit the post, and they score! I'll call it the broadcaster's jinx if you want me to. It's Carlin who does finally break through in the power play. 1 for 5, but they draw even here in the first, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Carlin doing a great job controlling the rebound, just being at the right place in the right time, and Wilcox just letting one go right off his pads.
And you get another look at it, just a scrum in the crease, and the celly from Carlin, the freshman Brendan Carlin from New York, New York. gets his first goal of his career, and it ties things up at 1 in the Ice House.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just love that there for the freshman, Carlin. I mean, starting off your freshman debut as in club hockey and getting a goal, both for Asa Roger and for Carlin. I mean, that's huge.
Oh, what a play here. Wrap pass. Oh, my goodness. That was an insane display of skill from Will Cahill for the Demon Deacons. Touched it between his legs, then a no-look centering pass, and unable to finish it off was his teammate. There's a shot from the blue line that sees all the way through to Wilcox, and he'll make the save. That was a seeing eye puck from Eddie Kane, and he's had a couple of those from the blue line where he just lets it rip, and one of them rang a crossbar, one of them got a deflection that ended up in a save from Wilcox. That one gets all the way through.
Yeah, he's been really great. Just Kane, the New Jersey resident, he's a massive guy out there on the ice. At least that's what I'm seeing from up here, but he's just got a great shot on him and has tried to almost created some great opportunities here for the Demon Deacons.
Now that's the difference between Wake Forest and App State in terms of their roster makeup. App State only has 8 guys on their roster that are from outside the state of North Carolina. They're a very homegrown team. And Wake Forest, they do a lot of recruiting outside of the state. There's a lot of guys from near and far, New Hampshire, Toronto, New York, Minnesota, New Jersey, Chicago, Boston, Buffalo, Montreal, Denver. They're all over the place.
Yeah, and no one from the great state of North Carolina.
Yep, it's very stark contrast in these two teams. 3 seconds left in the period, and a shot blocked in front. And the Demon Deacons, after struggling for the majority of that first, they draw even on the power play. They started the period 0 for 4 on the man advantage, but they break through and tie things at 1 after 20. We'll be right back with the second period after this.
And we're back here at the Greensboro Ice House. Appalachian State Mountaineers versus Wake Forest Demon Deacons, as we have Casey and Ernberg taking the draw. The Mountaineers starting off fast, getting in their offensive zone. Keeps it in at the blue line, gets a tip. Good save there by Palumbo. App State has it right behind the crease. Pass it up to Sink. Sink takes the shot, gets deflected right in front by the Demon Deacons. Sink sends another one inside. Great opportunity here. And they score! Great pass play and tic-tac-toe as the Appalachian State Mountaineers start off this period on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Patrick Casey with a fantastic finish to that play. Wake Forest and their goaltender, Palumbo, were out of position that whole play, but you see the centering pass there. They had a chance to do that earlier in the shift. They couldn't capitalize, but that time they do, and a fantastic goal by Casey. And it gives the Mountaineers the lead yet again.
Casey gets it in to the zone again, and Palumbo has to just cover it up. I mean, that's a great play there, just getting it inside the zone, and now they've got to face off in their offensive zone instead of in the middle of the ice.
Yeah, and Casey is a sharpshooter. Last year for the Mountaineers, the Scottsdale, Arizona native, he's an alternate captain, came all the way from Arizona. He's one of those few out-of-state guys for App State like we talked about. In 14 games played last season, he had 9 goals and only 2 assists. So he is a sniper, finds the back of the net often, and he's off to a hot start this season.
Fight for it in the corner. App State gets a good pass outside. Takes a shot, gets deflected in front. Wake needs to get out of the zone here as they do. Winthrop bringing it into the zone for Farland. Farland takes a shot, goes left to the goal. Casey gets the puck, gets the pass up to number 51. They fight for it in the back, and one falls to their feet. Fans on it in the corner. Casey gets it back in front. Behind the crease, Wake is just, they've got to be called for that penalty.
Yeah, they're finally going to call him. I mean, Chase Arnett, he's wearing number 51. He's number 12 in our program, so he's got the number 12 on his helmet sticker, but I guess the jersey must not be in yet. But he was getting mauled right there on that far post, and Arnett is a guy that's been in the box a lot already for Appalachian State, but this time he draws the penalty, and this is Appalachian State's first power play.
Yeah, the senior Jack Chauvin getting in the box for the Demon Deacons, and the Mountaineers, after starting this period off real strong, have an opportunity here again as they fight for it in the corner of the boards. Mountaineers trying to get it up to the blue line. They fight for it for the corner. Good job there by Scheppelman to keep that puck so long. And Wake Forest sends it down. Miller gets there first. Miller, quarterbacking, gets it up to Scheppelman, and just a lazy play. The shot goes right. That's Matthew Kirby, the freshman. And as that puck goes over the glass, we'll get a stoppage of play here. I mean,
that was a great opportunity, Ben. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't have that happen on the power play breakout. A 2-on-1 shorthanded. And again, like you mentioned, the opportunity was there, but the shot just wide. And Wilcox was not going to get a glove on that. That shot had him beat, but it was too far wide.
Yeah, Wilcox was one of us in that regard. Super confused on where that puck was going. But, I mean, luckily it went to the right of the net and didn't have an opportunity at him. Sends it back. The Mountaineers trying to work it out of their defensive zone. Gets it up. Great forechecking here by the Demon Deacons. And Tremont, who we have now realized is wearing 93, takes a shot on Palumbo.
Yep, we had that conversation at intermission. Tremont has been all over the place so far for the Mountaineers, and I mean, that's to be expected when you look at his numbers. The freshman from Apex, North Carolina, with the Raleigh Raptors, he had 12 goals and 13 assists in 22 games played. I mean, it's a pretty solid stat line.
As there's a shot taken, and here's another penalty on Chase Arnett.
Yep, they're going to get him for a high stick. That is his 4th penalty of the night. And the official checking for blood to see if it's a double minor. We'll see.
I mean, he's setting records, and I don't know if they're records that he wants to
No,
break.
absolutely not. I mean, it's got to be the most penalties taken in a debut in the first 23 minutes.
Yeah, now the Demon Deacons have a great opportunity to get this 4-on-4, a lot more space on the ice here, as we've got Lassner taking the draw here for the Demon Deacons. They lose the draw. The Mountaineers get it back behind their own net, but Lassner is still putting on a lot of pressure. The Mountaineers trying to work it up, but Demon Deacons their own defensive zone. That is Winthrop. Winthrop with the puck, takes the shot and just sends it down the ice. And wow, an incredible shot there, just from one end of the ice to the other, and that goes right above the Mountaineers bench.
And out of play, yep. I mean, in a 4-on-4 session, that might not be the ideal play, but it's better than an icing because I believe you get to change. They opted not to, but.
Yeah. Miller and Kirby in there. As McGregor gets it out of the zone, but Brady keeps it in. Shot fanned on. Good defensive play there by McGregor. Brady sends it over. But Kane is there to send it down the ice, and now we're on the power play for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. That's Peterson, and it'll go back to Eddie Kane.
The Demon Deacons scored on their last power play after starting 0 for 4. Let's see if they can capitalize on this one here in the second and get that rollover.
Brady fights for it on the edge with Brozowski. And the Demon Deacons finally get possession after that scrum in the corner. Takes a good pass.
Oh, what a find.
And the Mountaineers are able to kill off that good offensive pressure there from the Demon Deacons.
What a look that was from James McGregor to see that seam from the blue line, get that pass through, created a great scoring chance for the Demon Deacons.
As there's another shot from McGregor that Wilcox had to stand up for and save with his chest, but he covers it, and we'll get a line change from the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Yep, that is a great shift that time from McGregor, and to the naked eye, that may not have looked like a super threatening power play shift for the Demon Deacons, but he did a lot by himself on that shift and created a couple of opportunities.
Yeah, and hoping that the Wake Forest Demon Deacons can capitalize on this soon. As Wilcox makes another good save. A lot of traffic in front there, but Wilcox is cool, calm, and collected and gets that save.
Yeah, one thing that both teams have tried out a little bit as this game has gone along is getting traffic in front and just sending shots on from the blue line. It's not a type of goal that you see often. It takes a lot of skill and hand-eye coordination. I mean, a tip goal seems like it would be easy, but it's really, really difficult to pull off. But it's a strategy that both of these teams are trying to utilize, especially on the power play. But we're back to 5-on-5 here.
Yeah, Carlin takes a shot as the Mountaineers defenseman coming right out of the box. And here's an opportunity, but that should be icing. Yes, as it is. And, you know, Arnett is not loving that call.
Yep, Cortez had him by a half step, and Arnett out of the box thought that he had won the race, but good call by the linesman there. And this faceoff will come back to Wilcox's. It looks like it's going to be to the blocker side, and I mean, this is a big shift right here. Nope, well, originally App State had it lined up on the glove side, but Wake Forest decides they want it on the blocker side. So the Demon Deacons, I mean, they've had a good couple of shifts. That was a good power play. They've just got to get on the board.
Yeah, and letting up that one early in this period it sucks, but there's a shot there. That was Gate. As Gate moves it up, and that's blocked in front. Kane takes the shot from the line, and Tremont just blocks the puck, goes up in the netting right behind the goal of Wilcox, and we'll get another draw here on his blocker side. Lassner, who's the draw man for the Demon Deacons, and wins the draw there and gets it down to Gate, and Gate gets it back to Lassner, and we'll cut it up at the blue line. That's a shot, but just goes right of the goal. That was a great opportunity there. Seems like those blue line shots have been working out a little bit for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Nothing to show for it yet, though.
Yeah, the strategy is clear. They are trying to get pucks on net from the blue line, and there's a hand pass, so we'll have a whistle here. But again, like I said, they definitely have a strategy here. They've seen something in Wilcox's game that they think they can take advantage of. It's just a matter of executing at this point.
Yeah, and I think the Wake Forest Demon Deacons are going to continue to go back to it. I mean, they need something to work, and it seems like there's some sort of something brewing there, as here's the draw. That was Ernberg, the captain for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, as here comes Weiland. Weiland gets a 2-on-2 here, takes a shot, but deflected in front.
Yeah, I think his teammate might have accidentally blocked that shot.
Yeah, and that's just an unfortunate crossing of path there. As here we got the Mountaineers taking a good pass, but good block there to get it outside, keep it outside of the zone by McGregor, and the Mountaineers a little too ambitious, gets called for offsides here.
I really like the play that I just saw on the other end of the ice here by Wake Forest D-man Jackson Winthrop, the freshman defenseman, jumps all the way up from his D position to get to the circles and makes a no-look backhanded pass that was perfectly to the slot where his teammate was, just couldn't connect, but it created what could have been an opportunity, and Wake Forest needs to keep doing that here.
Yep. Wake Forest.
Oh, boy.
And that's just to the left side. That's a great opportunity that was just missed there by the Mountaineers. And
oh, man. Asa Rogers going to want that one back.
yeah, absolutely. As McGregor keeps it behind and giving up a lot of turnovers here. The Mountaineers are trying to capitalize on some of these turnovers of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. As here's Winthrop behind the net and gets it past, and there's Winthrop again, moving it up on a 3-on-2.
Oh, boy.
Makes a good move. Makes the pass. Oh, but just outside. I think that was off the pad of Wilcox. And here's a penalty again. As the shots, they're just barely staying outside of the net. What in the world is happening? As App State finally gets that puck and sends it back. And Wilcox just in all sorts of frantic.
I tell you what, you obviously don't want to get sent to the box again, but I mean, for App State, that's a win. How does Wake Forest not score there? Fantastic team defense, selling out to keep the puck from crossing over the goal line. Wilcox was down and out and just absolutely swarming to the puck were the Mountaineers defensemen. But now let's see if they can do it on the penalty kill. Wake Forest has been solid, creating looks in the offensive zone. They've got 2 minutes of man advantage time here. Can they capitalize? The one goal they've scored was on the power play so far. Yeah. Oh, and we saw this earlier. There's a warning for a face-off violation. Might have another one and get a penalty. Nope.
And luckily Wake Forest doesn't give up their power play too soon. Brzezowski fights for it in the corner, gets it up to McGregor with a great move, takes the shot but gets blocked in front. That was Miller with the block, and that was that was incredible.
Is that James McGregor or Cale McCarr? I mean, this guy is putting on all kinds of moves in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
And his passing ability is off the charts as well. This kid is going to be really good for the Deeks.
Oh, yeah, the Canadian native, and just makes a great move there. And as they come inside the zone, there's McGregor again, takes a shot to the left.
That was a rocket, too. I didn't know he had that shot in him as well.
I mean, hey, I guess we're learning a lot of new things today. As here's Israelo, chips it up, but not a great pass. Gets it over to Tremont, and Tremont takes the shot, but it's saved by Palumbo. I mean, some sloppy passing there by the Demon Deacons to allow the Mountaineers to continue to keep up the offensive pressure. And that's been the story of this period. There's been a lot of turnovers by the Demon Deacons that the Mountaineers have not yet capitalized on, but have had some great chances.
Yep, they're up 1-0 in this period, are the Mountaineers, but it could be a lot more. And at the same time, Wake Forest has had a lot of chances too. They just haven't been able to capitalize. This has been a chance-filled period. The defenses have not looked great in this period, but the offenses just haven't been able to beat the goaltenders, and it results in only a 1-goal differential, 2-1 game.
And as Sink sends that one down the ice, we got Cortez back behind the net and getting it over to Shapiro. Back to Cortez. And wow, what a fight there it is. And gets the pass up and
okay, are you kidding me? Patrick Casey putting in work 1-on-3, shorthanded to get that puck on the penalty kill. And then not only that, he finds his teammate with a centering pass for a one-time chance that could have easily been a goal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just an incredible play there by Casey. He's just showing that he can do it all for this Mountaineers team. Going up 1v3, like you said, and just keeping that forecheck strong. And we'll see if the Mountaineers, they've got a lot of energy here still. I feel like they need to capitalize on. Cortez gets it up to Farland. Farland skates it inside the zone. Gets hit a little bit there by Sink, but manages to keep the zone. Sink sends it out, and that'll kill off the rest of this penalty. App State showing that they can do some stuff on the penalty kill.
Yep, they have been stellar in that regard all night. And some of it is bad power play from the Deeks. Some of it's good penalty kill. It's a little mix of both, as it oftentimes is when you have a night like this on the power play or penalty kill. But that being said, it's expected for the Wake Forest power play to have some kinks to work out.
Oh, there's a huge hit in the corner. And Sink is just shaking up there. We had a couple bodies being thrown, and Sink able to get up, but he was down there for a little bit. Good to see him skating back on his own accord, but he might need a second. And
wow, I mean, that was just a crushing hit. Like we've seen.
Yeah.
This game not as physical as the game that we watched earlier. I will say that. UNC and High Point was a much more physical game, but the farther this game gets along, it might get a little more chippy.
Yeah, you have these two teams, like we mentioned earlier, have such a rivalry against one another, and it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of this game. It's really close, about half the period remaining here in the second period. We'll see what happens between the Mountaineers and the Demon Deacons. As Lassner setting up to take the draw, there seems to be a little bit of a confusion here.
Yep, Matt Mugno, the head coach of the Mountaineers, was asking for an explanation on why that play wasn't blown dead sooner, I would imagine. But the official gave him the riot act, and we're good to go.
Yep, as Miller takes the puck from the Mountaineers, gets it behind the net. The Demon Deacons being good here on the forecheck. But Miller gets the puck back and sends it outside of the zone. Kane to Lassner. Lassner to Gate. But good fighting there from Luke Miller. And Wake Forest still with the puck down here in their offensive zone, but not a whole lot of possession here. As there's a shot and a huge hit there from Bongren. Brady gets it back to Kane. Kane sends it back down to Gate and just gets swarmed. Still fighting for it is Gate, and Luke Miller sends it up and into the netting. So we'll get another, we'll get a switch here for the Mountaineers and for the Demon Deacons, and it'll come right back into Wilcox's zone. It's been a lot of physical play here since we've...
Yeah, it just picked up in the last couple of minutes, Ben. I mean, after we talked about it, they've been throwing the body around a little bit more, and that's what happens when teams get frustrated. We mentioned it earlier that both of these teams have been creating chances, but they haven't been able to capitalize on them so far, and that results in frustration, which results in physicality.
Yeah, there's Rogers, gets it inside the zone, fought for it well, but the Demon Deacons well on defense, and they get the puck back. Send it against the zone, and Ernberg finally gets the puck out of the zone after a swarming Mountaineers team gets it inside their offensive zone. McGregor sends it up. Great pass there from McGregor to get that to Weiland. Weiland can't enter the zone, but waits for reinforcements. And a couple of Demon Deacons try to send it in the zone, but get fanned on by Goski, I believe. Gross, excuse me. And here's a race for the puck. Winthrop beats out the Mountaineer as Scheppelman takes a shot, but it's blocked in front by McGregor. McGregor's had just some incredible plays here. Here's McGregor again, but can't beat him out. That's a great play there from the Mountaineers, and here's a stoppage of play for a hand pass.
And I mean, an underrated play that time by the Mountaineers defenseman. I believe that was Moffitt. I mean, it was a simple play, but he made the play that he had to make. He had the angle on that puck, but if he didn't make that play, if he messes that up, if Carter Metzger misses that fluttering puck, it's a 3-on-0 for Wake Forest, which I don't know how you could not score on that. We've talked about squandering opportunities, but a 3-on-0 you have to capitalize on.
Absolutely. As there's a good move there to get it outside of the zone, and that's a good pass, but it'll be sent down the ice, but the Mountaineer beats him out and makes a good move there in the corner to fight for it. Sends the pass to, excuse me, I thought he was going to send the pass, but good defensive play, and here's looks like another penalty for Wake for a slash or a trip.
Yep, and the crowd here is loving it. I mean, after that first, this Appalachian State fan base was incensed with the officiating. They went to the box so many times in that first period, but going to the box this time, Cortez, and a power play for App State. With a 1-goal lead already, this is a really big point in this game. Just through the midway point of the second period and the game overall, another goal here for App State could be killer, but at the same time, a kill for the Deacs could be the momentum they need to draw this game even later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams need this for their respective reasons, and here's Miller, who takes the pass inside, but that's blocked by Kane. Kane fights for it in the corner, but sends it out. But Miller keeps it in. Great job there by Miller to keep that puck in. And Miller gets the puck back, sends a pass down on the boards, and right up the middle, a shot, but blocked right in front. Palombo makes the great save with the blocker side. As App State's still fighting for it in the corner, sends it back up across the ice for Miller again. Makes a good move, Miller, with the spin move, but good defensive play there by Brozowski, who sends it back down the ice as Casper and company need to get this puck back. But, I mean, a lot of great opportunities there for the Mountaineers.
No, you're right, and I've been very impressed with this power play, but you mentioned it. Great defensive play by Brozowski to thwart that chance.
There's a good pass, but Palombo gets his pad on it as that gets sent up to the ice by Rosado, I believe. Nope, that would be Eli Race, one of the few returners for this Wake Forest Demon Deacons team, as the Mountaineers will have a minute and 7 seconds left of this power play. But, I mean, they've been buzzing so far here on this power play. As here's the draw, the Mountaineers win it, the shot, and just gets sent. Oh, what a chance there for Bondgren, but Bondgren hits the side of the net, and the Mountaineers get the puck back here. Miller gets it up, the shot, but another good save by Palombo right in front. Miller gets the puck back, and Miller sends it down to Scheppelman, but Scheppelman can't hold on to it. But a good play there by the Mountaineers. They recognize their offsides, and McGregor, who made that play to get it out of the zone, gets it again, and
that was nearly a shot on goal.
I mean, he was really going for it there. It's Brady, and wow, Carlin loses his stick, but still tries to fight for it with his feet, and Brady has the puck here for the Mountaineers, jings it right in the zone. That's a 3-on-3 opportunity. Brady in the corner sends it up to the defenseman Miller. Back to Brady. Brady gets it poked away from him, but he recovers. Brady sends it in, but Winthrop gets there and makes a big hit to keep that out, as Palombo needs to make the save there on the Mountaineer shot. And there's McGregor again with a good move, gets it up the ice. His speed has really been showing on this game as he tries to make a move, loses the puck unfortunately, but that was a great little move there from McGregor. And as they fight for it in the corner, both teams have guys drop into the ice, and as Callahan fights for it with multiple Mountaineers, and Kane sends a shot, but a good glove save by Wilcox. And I mean, a guy in front, but he still makes a great save, and we'll see what the Demon Deacons able to kill off that penalty. But I mean, there was a little bit of momentum there for the Demon Deeks.
I mean, yeah, you mentioned it. It's a lot of momentum for them. That was a great penalty kill. App State had a lot of puck movement, but they didn't have a lot of chances in high-danger scoring areas. Let's see what Wake can do after that big kill as we approach the end of this period.
Yeah, scrum, and there's a scrum in the middle of the ice for the puck, but it gets out, and both teams still fighting for it. That's Gate and multiple Mountaineers, and as Yorno fights for it and gets it back behind the net. The Demon Deacons fighting for it. There's a turnover. A shot rings the post. That's Max Lassner. Hits the top of the post after it goes off the shoulder of Wilcox. I mean, there's another great opportunity that just couldn't be capitalized for the Demon Deeks.
Yeah, I mean, you see Wilcox there hugging the crossbar. It's his best friend right now. I mean, this game is tied if that puck is a couple of inches lower.
Yeah, Lassner, one of the two Canadians on this team for the Demon Deeks. As he sends it inside, Lassner gets it to the other side of the net. And fans on the pass there. And good move. And a shot, but saved. Oh, and what a rebound chance there for Lassner. But Lassner couldn't get his stick on the puck. Here's Casper. Casper coming inside the zone. Flips one up, but Palombo with a great save. Just hugging onto that puck, making sure that it doesn't leave his grasp.
Now, what a sequence that was, Ben. I mean, back and forth, and good chance over here for Wake Forest, but then on the other end, Palumbo having to make the save, and things are picking up here as we head into the end of the second. This has been a pretty fast-moving second period so far. Yeah. Under 5 minutes to play already, and it really hasn't been dominated by either team. I mean, Wake Forest has looked really good at times, but not so strong in others.
Here's some good speed there by Weiland to negate the icing, and Weiland gets it inside, and he's looking and scanning, but a block there by Casper. Weiland sends it up, but there's multiple Mountaineers there as we have a 2-on-1, but both a Mountaineer and a Demon Deacon dive for that puck, and they both get it, but no... Great defensive play there.
It was a great play by Winthrop for sure.
Yeah. Oh, the pass inside gets blocked in front there by Ernberg, the captain. And just a little fan there to get sent up to Miller. Gets shot back down, and a little fight for it there, middle of the ice, and some good moves there by the Mountaineers. And the Demon Deacons need to get some possession of this puck, and as they send it over, Miller takes a shot in front, but it goes just to the left of Palombo's crease, and finally the Demon Deacons are able to get it out, but at what cost? They get an icing here, and they can't even switch off. And the Mountaineers showing a lot of energy. It's really been a back and forth period.
Yep, and the Mountaineers are going to get a full sail line change off here. They'll get a whole 5 different guys onto the ice right now. This is going to be a very interesting end to the period as we're under 4 to play, and let's see what happens here.
Yeah, and here's Miller taking the draw here for the Mountaineers, and to get scooped up by the Demon Deeks, and they finally get it outside of the zone. It was a long offensive zone draw, but Bondgren sends it right back in and hits a guy on the process and gets a shot in front, but just outside, and Bondgren keeps that puck in. Great way to keep the puck in, and the Mountaineers fighting for it in the corner. That's McGregor again fighting for it and gets the puck right here. Sends it over to Winthrop. Winthrop scoops the puck, and that'll be no icing. Wilcox hits it, and a good turnover there created by Heekin, as a name that I have not announced so far, and getting his name here on the broadcast. Heekin, as the Mountaineers tip it in, but no icing is the call. Miller, one of the 2 Miller brothers that are on this team for the Mountaineers, there's a shot just to the left of Palombo's crease, but he gets just a foot on that and gets it outside of the net.
I've really liked Palumbo's positioning in this period. I mean, there have been chances where App State could have had a sliver more room on the post, but Palumbo has had really good positioning. And on that play, his right skate is outside of the far post, and what that allows him to do is seal off that post. Having your skate on the post is great, but being outside of the post in some situations is even better because it covers every possible chance of a puck leaking in that near side.
Yeah. There's Scheppelman, sends it to the other side of the ice for Iorno. And there's Arzello, and Heekin sends it into the zone for the Demon Deacons. And the Mountaineers, Scheppelman gets it, but good play by Cortez to keep that out and making sure that they don't have an opportunity for an odd man rush. Oh, what an opportunity fanned on by the Demon Deacons. Couple good moves there by the Mountaineers. Mountaineers coming up the ice, gets it in, but that'll be an offsides if they touch it, and that is what it will be. Offsides for the Mountaineers with 1:49 left in this period. I mean, both teams looking to fight back or keep on fighting in some circumstances, as both teams have shown a lot of life here in this period.
Yeah, that they have. I mean, it's been a pretty competitive game, pretty back and forth, but a lot of people expected Wake Forest to walk away on top in this one, but we'll see.
Brzezowski sends it off the boards to himself, looking for someone, and that's Kirby behind the net, and he takes a shot, gets blocked in front by the face of Metzger. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
No, you got it.
Metzger. And here's a race for the puck by Shapiro. Shapiro gets the puck, sends it back behind the net of Palumbo, and then they play a little patty cake. The Demon Deacons do, and the Mountaineers keep it inside the zone. That's a shot blocked in front by his own teammate, and he gets a shot, but Palumbo just swallows that one up. Yep. That was Hogervist who took that shot, I believe.
Yeah, that was a pretty dangerous opportunity for the Deeks in terms of defensively, and I think that Palumbo got pretty lucky on that. He just moved with the puck. If the shooter fires that one a little bit more to the left, it's probably finding netting.
Right.
But that being said, it's been a pretty back and forth period, like we mentioned a couple seconds ago. But one thing that has been key is block shots for both teams, as there's a hand pass. But you mentioned it just a second ago when we were down on the other end of the ice. App State in particular has been excellent so far tonight in getting in the shot lanes. They have been so good at blocking shots, especially in this second period. If they can keep doing that, it's going to be very difficult for Wake Forest to draw even.
Yeah, the App State has just shown a lot of physicality and mental toughness to get in front of those shots that might be just a little hurtful. You never know through the pads or whatnot, but they've been putting their bodies on the line and not only throwing the bod, but getting the bod in front of the puck. There's a shot from the blue line, and the Mountaineers still keeping that in, but there's a great pass here as Callahan tries to hit the toe drag and shoot, but Wilcox with a great pad save as that gets sent down on the ice. As that's going to be icing, but incredible save there by Wilcox on the great move by Callahan.
Yeah, not to discredit the save by Wilcox because it was definitely a great save on the breakaway. But that move from Callahan maybe just a little bit too predictable for the goalie. The drag to the backhand is great, but I would have loved to see him go back to the forehand because Wilcox was shading to his left, that glove side a little bit more than the blocker side, and there was room on that blocker side on the bottom of the net if he goes back to the forehand.
Miller sends that inside the post, but that's a huge hit there on Tremont, I believe, and the Demon Deacons send it in, and good defensive stick there, though the shot by the Demon Deeks goes behind the net, and 5 seconds left and in this period, and still a chance, and they score with 1 second left. That's Gate with the backhand, just squeaks past Wilcox's left shoulder, and just an insane momentum builder there by the Demon Deacons. Nick Gate, the Chicago, Illinois native, just squeaks it back behind the shoulder of Wilcox. As we'll get a Man, I wish I could get another look at that because that was incredible. I mean, with that little time on the clock and just an incredible little momentum shift there for the
Well,
Demon
I mean, we
Deacs.
got to break that down because Appalachian State had it in the corner. And they very easily could. They're going to call that a buzzer beater. They're going to send everybody to the locker room.
Wow.
Appalachian State could have iced it, and that would have been better than what happened. The defenseman in the corner tried to do too much and ends up trying to do a loose puck deke, sends it towards the slot, and then charging in on the backhand is Gate, and just a backhand on the loose puck off of the back of the unsuspecting Wilcox, and it ties this game. That is now 2 periods in a row where App State has had a late lead, and late in the period, Wake Forest has capitalized and drawn even heading into the break.
Yeah, and that's just an incredible way to send us to break. We will be right back. Mountaineers, Demon Deacons in the Greensboro Ice House.
And we are back for the third period in a tie game after a late equalizer from Wake Forest makes this a 2-2 hockey game. I'm Graham Tuck with Ben Shelton, and Ben, it's been really back and forth. Neither team has really separated themselves. App State has had opportunities, but Wake Forest has capitalized late in both periods. They got a late power play in the first to even it up at 1, and then just a mental error from the App State defense. Wake Forest capitalizes while Wilcox was not paying attention with 1 second left on the clock in-house, and then they ended up just calling it after that. They ended up ending the period with 1 second left on the clock. So that's how we stand. And like we said, really, really back and forth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been such a roller coaster for both these teams. Like, there have been times where obviously Wake has not led in this game, but they've been just really had a lot of energy, they've kept themselves in this game. And then App State having these goals early in both periods that have really just led to them playing with the lead, but still not capitalizing on some of their opportunities.
Well, this game is very similar score-wise to the one that we just finished watching. It was 3-2 High Point over the Tar Heels of UNC after 2 periods. 2-2 here as the Deeks bring it in, and it's on the stick of McGregor, who has had an excellent game so far. And now ahead, it's a one-on-one for Brady. Brady fires a shot, and he sends it wide. There was room low, and he saw it, tried to find it, but sent it to the inboards. Here come the Deeks the other way. It's Chauvin. The puck finds its way to Farland. Here's a chance. Wilcox down and out, and save, and a hit after the play, and it's not going to go unnoticed. Seth Johnson is going to go to the box for the Mountaineers, but a great sequence of saves that time for Nicholas Wilcox, who had a rough season last year. He's looked really good so far tonight. But that being said, the play from Seth Johnson is going to earn Wake Forest a power play. No, they're going to call coincidentals here. Farland is going to the box as well for Wake Forest. And so we will play 4-on-4. Yep, you see them there. Guys in both boxes.
Yeah,
well, it will be either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, I should say. I'm not sure if they'll rule them coincidentally. Yep, just got the signal, 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of that rivalry showing through a little bit of extra physicality after the play. But what a great little scrum. I mean, you love to see the energy from both teams, even if it's resulting in penalties. But you'll live with a 4-on-4 for both teams, and just showing that they care about their goalie, Wilcox, who's, again, like you mentioned, had a great outing here today. And
well, there was a really good chance out in front for Brzezowski. Now a shorthanded opportunity for Brady. He'll cut back, and the backhanded pass is off the mark. He had a couple of trailers, but couldn't find them.
That's a great stick there by Shapiro for the Demon Deeks to make sure that the Mountaineers don't have the opportunity to cross that puck and get an open shot there on Palombo.
Well, Brzezowski fired one, tried to pick the far corner, but couldn't go bar down. Ahead to Groves. Groves fires a shot, pad save. And in comes Cortez. All the way from behind the goal line. Cortez across the other goal line to the corner. Oh, what a play there by the defenseman. That was Matthew Kirby just sealing off Dahlstrand, sending him into the boards.
Yeah, when you're looking at this game.
Oh, here comes Kirby. Centering pass, and Wilcox. Did he make the save? They're going to say he kept it out. It went 5-hole, but he was able to keep the pads just tight enough to keep it out. That's a great save from Wilcox.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, that makes his 14th, excuse me, no, that is his 10th save of the evening.
And
there's a
another
lot
chance.
more.
He's whacking away at it. Wake Forest is buzzing on this power play, or 4-on-4, I should say. They nearly had a power play, but a penalty canceled it out. Wake Forest taking a late lead in shots on goal now, 14-12. It's been a very slow game in that department. A lot of back and forth in the neutral zone. And like we mentioned in the second, a lot of block shots. Oh, what a one-time chance. Wilcox, robbery. How did he get that one? He's going to talk his talk to the bench, too. That ought to get the boys fired up.
Yeah, just laying out, just going full Superman outside of the blue zone and just gets it right under his chest and gets a great save there. Wilcox showing that he's had great improvement from last season.
Man, what a save that was. Bookmark that play.
Demon Deeks just continuing to fight for that puck, but makes a lot of turnovers here for both teams, not having a whole lot of momentum, being able to be kept due to the turnovers.
Yeah, and it's been that way all night, really. I mean, in the early stages of the first, App State established themselves as the dominant force, but there was a slap shot by McGregor. There's a save from Wilcox on a shot. And McGregor's shot went wide. And McGregor's got to get on his horse to beat Iorio. He can't. This is not icing. We've seen that multiple times from App State. Their forwards have the wheels to beat out those icing calls.
Yeah, they've got the speed, but they've also just got more determination to get there to the boards, and really just shows their dedication. They're not afraid to be tired, even though App State has another home game, I believe tomorrow against Elon, if I'm not mistaken.
They'll be on the road, but yes, you're right. They do play tomorrow against Elon. Wake Forest, this is their lone game of the weekend. Next time they'll be in action will be next weekend at Virginia Tech, a week from tonight. Here's a chance, and the wrister off the stick of Arnett right into the chest of Palumbo. First time he's seen some action in a little bit. Still tied at 2, 15:40 left to go in the third. Next goal will be a big one, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're the Demon Deacons here, you want to get this lead for the first time and challenge the App State Mountaineers to just get after it and try and hit that equalizer, compared to if you have a good chance like this one here. Oh.
Yeah, the great opportunity for the Deeks, broken up. Now here come the Mountaineers. Cross ice pass, finds its way to Gate. Tremont is there, but there's a wrister, and it's just over the glove of Wilcox. It goes to the corner boards. Metzger putting in work to try to clear the puck. Wake Forest doing some good work here. There's a wrister into the glove of Wilcox. Wake Forest really picking things up here in the third, but Wilcox has stood tall in the blue paint.
I mean, that's a great glove save by Wilcox. You've seen him use that glove just a couple times here in that game, and even though it was high, he got his hand up and was able to make that glove save. Just a snag, some would say.
McGregor ended up with the puck on his stick after it took a couple of deflections from both squads. Ernberg in the corner. Gets it free to Weiland. Weiland, drop pass, left it for Winthrop, sent down low. Collision behind the play. Who's this penalty going to be on? The Deeks. Pass ahead, it's going to be too far out in front of the intended target, Miller. McGregor touches up, and it will be an Appalachian State power play. Haven't seen it often tonight, but it gets a chance to operate here. That is a big penalty for Wake Forest.
Yeah. App State has a lot of guys that can really be dangerous in this power play. They've got, as you've seen in this game, they've got a lot of great passers, especially their blue line has been great in that department. We'll see what App State can do here with a 2-minute penalty, or 2-minute power play, excuse me.
Here's Casper ahead to Casey, who has the most recent goal for App State. Casey drags in. Casey leaves it. There's a slap shot and a stick save by Palumbo. Tremont putting in good work there. Casper pinches in, keeps the zone. Good play. Casey drops it to Tremont. Tremont digs it out. Tremont fires a wrister, looking for a tip, doesn't find it. And it finds its way back to Tremont, who sends it to the corner. Intercepted by the stick of a Demon Deacon. That was Kane, who sends it down to Wilcox. 1:14 left in the power play. It's looked solid, but nothing crazy. Casper makes a nice move, but His pass off of a skate. Here's Casey. Ahead to Brady. Brady to Casey. And a block shot there by Shapiro. Casey sends it to Brady. That one's blocked. A rebound comes free, and the chance for Arnett is poked and saved. 45 seconds left on the power play. Casper, his shot all the way in to Palumbo, and he had to make a save. Good keep by Casey at the blue line. Power play looking good here. Brady, 30 seconds left to Casper. Casper, cross-ice pass, looking for Brady, can't find him. Brady to Casey. Casey looking for a tip, got it, but it's not Arnett. Arnett. Got to stick to that one. Back up top for Casey. Arnett's tapping for it, but Casey couldn't keep the zone, and that'll spell the end of the Mountaineer power play in 2 seconds. That was a great shift from the Mountaineer man advantage, but they couldn't get through. And Wake Forest is still in this game. Here's a chance the other way. Shot fanned on, and it ended up being blocked. Casey takes it away. Here's a breakaway for Brady. But stepping in is McGregor and breaks it up. Ooh. Big hit by Casper right in front of us. And Tremont will pick it up on the far side. Physicality picking up here. 12 minutes left in the third.
I mean, these teams do not like each other, and it's showing through the amount of hits that keep on being thrown here.
There's a shot blocked yet again by Casper. Sent down. Is it icing? Yes. .11:46 left in the third. And 2-2 still the score, the same way that we ended the second period. App State tried to get a line change off, but the officials stay wise to it.
App State's been buzzing for the last 4 minutes of this period, even starting before that power play that they had. And we'll just get to see if they can capitalize on any of their opportunities that they've had.
Here's the Demon Deacons with a chance, and they score! Luke Callahan had a couple of chances earlier, couldn't capitalize, and he gets through here. It's the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, and that just goes right 5 holes. We'll get a chance to look at that in a second. But, I mean, that's a great shot, and you see the opportunity there and shoots it.
Yep, the traffic in front ended up being a benefactor for Callahan, and he gets on the board. The Montclair, New Jersey freshman gets his first goal, and it's a 1-goal advantage for the Deacs, their first lead.
I mean, this first lead is massive. Like I was mentioning earlier, I think you gotta, if you're the Deacons, you gotta challenge this Wake Forest or this Appalachian State team to beat you and not just come from behind.
And here's another penalty. It's going to be a hook, and it looks like it's going against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I mean, you see Kane right there celebrating over the penalty that he drew. I mean, the little victories, they count, and that's a huge one here to waste some time off this final period of play. I mean, it's a 2-minute period there on, or 2-minute penalty there. And that'll waste it down to the 9-minute mark, and Wake Forest will have another opportunity as both teams skate towards the bench right now.
Yep, it looks like one team has called their timeout, and this could be a killer goal for Wake Forest. If they can capitalize on this power play too, would be unbelievable. Their first goal, or their last goal I should say, gave them their first lead of the night, but this would make it their first multi-goal lead, not only theirs, but the first multi-goal lead of the evening for either team, and it would be an insane way to cap off their start to the season.
Yeah, it's always about how you start a season. I mean, both these teams looking to bounce back from mediocre seasons and really just looking to capitalize. I think the Demon Deacons have done that well, obviously, with this last goal that was scored. but it's really impressive to see these two teams fight, really just go after it with one another and not letting up with the gas at all. They're just both keeping their energy and they keep on fighting back, so we'll see what they do here.
11-12 left in the third. And this is a massive penalty kill here for the Mountaineers if they want to stay in this game.
I mean, we've been talking about the emotions, just the up and down and the roller coaster of energy that's been between these two teams, but you got to see if the Mountaineers can match that energy that Wake brought at the beginning of this period.
Oh, here we go. Short-handed, Arnett all the way in. His shot and a save, Palumbo.
That's a great textbook save right there. Was there the whole way, and even if he tried to scoop that up, Palumbo swallowed it.
That was a great opportunity to draw this game even. I was going to say, Ben, we haven't seen the Mountaineers play from behind yet. It's a completely different mentality.
Oh, absolutely. You have to really foster up a lot of motivation because you're down, but you're not out. Absolutely
not at all. Not in a one-goal game. Here's McGregor. His pass to the blue line, not on target. Wake Forest has the angle to the puck, though. Ahead to Brzezowski. Sent down, no ice by the penalty killers. Kirby tried to send it deep, intercepted by a Mountaineer. Kirby shoved it to the Mountaineer bench. And the penalty kill doing a good job here so far for App State. They've had the only scoring chance of this power play, and it came shorthanded for them.
Yeah, both teams really fighting for it here. Just for a little bit of offensive just zone time. Both teams haven't really had a whole lot of it during this time. And I mean, if you're Appalachian State, you're loving that. The fact that Wake Forest hasn't had any offensive zone time and they haven't had any ideas or chances to set up that power play. But it's called the broadcaster's curse. They get in the zone pretty easy there and get to set up this power play.
Shapiro tried to center it. That puck's on the outside of the net, on the back of it, and they'll blow it dead as a couple of players were chopping at the back of the net trying to get it to pop up. Wilcox will take a breather under the halfway point of the third. We're just about to the close of what's been a fantastic evening of hockey here in the state of North Carolina. A couple of other score updates and a relevant game for Wake Forest. Their in-conference foe, East Carolina, dropping to the NC State Ice Pack. Oh, here's a chance, and they score! I'll put a hold on that one on the rebound. It'll be Weiland who puts it home, and it's 4-2. With 5 seconds left on the power play, the Demon Deacons get the first multi-goal lead of the game.
Yeah, Weiland, one of those returners there. Another Chicago, Illinois native, and just doing a great job. Just scoring the puck off the tip of Wilcox. And it's just incredible there, his hand-eye coordination, but seems to be a little confusion here at the center of the ice.
I think they might have been having a conversation about a high stick, but the goal will count. I was mentioning NC State, the Ice Pack, defeating East Carolina, the conference foe of Wake Forest, 17-3 tonight. There's another chance and a save made by Wilcox, but Ben, 17-3, and that's a football score.
Yeah, and that's a statement there for those Ice Pack down there at NC State. But
I mean, last year for the Ice Pack was the first time in as long as I can remember that the Ice Pack haven't made it to the ACCHL championship game. Last year it was Penn State versus UNC, and UNC knocked them off both in regionals and in the ACCHL semis. So it was a good year for UNC, a down year for NC State, but they still made it to the semis. They lost to Penn State in the semis, the eventual champions. But you're right, that's a statement to come out and win by that margin against a good team in ECU. And there's another save by Wilcox. App State, again, you mentioned it, their next game against Elon, but next Friday they will play that East Carolina Pirates team here in Greensboro at 10:30 p.m. Wake Forest does not play East Carolina until January 26th, but that will be a league game. Wake Forest next game against Virginia Tech next Friday on the road, and then they're right back here to play the High Point Panthers next Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of great games up in these next couple of games for both these teams that'll be entertaining and help them figure out where they're going to be standing in their conference.
App State's getting worked here in the third. There's a chance, kick saved by Wilcox. And the Mountaineers trying to go the other way. And it will roll in on Palumbo. Trying to make that play was Bondgren, but couldn't get it to his blade in time. Appalachian State, they're going to make a couple of big road trips this season. They're going to play at Middle Tennessee State in October, an outdoor game at Kutztown in December.
Taking some trips up to Virginia, too, against some in-conference foes in Christopher Newport and Liberty.
Yep. And Wake Forest, they're going to Alabama this year. Oh, what a move. Shot, and it goes wide. Oh, my, a dance by Nick Gate to leave his defender in the dust. But now Wake Forest, they're still buzzing here in the third. They've really dialed up the pressure in this period. And it seems like that goal at the end of the second with 0 time left on the clock was a massive momentum shift in this game. Wake Forest has outscored App State 3-0 since then.
Yeah, and I'm honestly quite impressed by the way that the Demon Deacons have fought back. Like we mentioned earlier, they hadn't led the game until that goal earlier that made it 3-2, and I was just very impressed by the way that they fought back, and even if they were struggling, they didn't let that get to them, and especially impressed with Palumbo. Like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, like the second he gets scored on in the first 3 minutes,
he really bounced back well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's having a great game, and with a great amount of saves, and as here's a chance.
Bringing it up the ice are the Deeks, and Wilcox will get behind his cage to play it. Brzezowski had the opportunity. Here comes Rogers. He has a goal. Asa Rogers tried to backhand it to his teammate, but the pass too far out in front of the intended target, and we'll have a whistle here. 6:44 left in the third, about done with this third period, and it's a period where Wake has won it 2-0 so far.
Yeah, there's been just a lot of momentum shift. You can even tell it just from the Mountaineers and how they're skating and what they're doing. It's just been a great period for the Demon Deeks, and you know, when you show out in these jerseys for the first time, you got to go out there and show them your best, even if you're a bunch of freshmen. So, but I'm very impressed by the Wake Forest team, the way that they were able to foster up a lot of energy and momentum here in this last period.
I mean, the third period is where games are won and lost, and Wake Forest has looked really good in this third.
Yes, they have, absolutely.
But this is where the money gets made, is in the late stages of the third, and you got to hold on to this multi-goal lead. You've done a great job to build it, but it's if you can keep it. Groves fires a shot, deflected, rebound, here's a chance, and unable to get a shot on was Casey.
Wow, great save there by Palumbo, just with a tip right in front by an Appalachian State forward, and there's another good save by him. He's been
wrap chance, and sealing the post is Palumbo.
On cue, you know, right on cue with us talking about him.
Yep.
He makes another great save, diving on the puck to cover it. And Palumbo, man, he's been impressive here. And I've just been really impressed by what he's been doing, going from post to post, moving very well, seeing the puck very well.
Casey had so much room on that opportunity off the rebound to poke it home. Just couldn't get it on his blade. And now here's a potential break for the Deeks. Johnson has speed on the back check, though, and gets there first.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good defensive play there, making sure that they don't have the opportunity to even take that one-on-one opportunity. And here's
Brady streaking down the ice. McGregor on him. Brady gets by him. Brady's shot, shouldered away. Rebound is loose. It goes behind the net. Sent to Johnson on the near boards, who pinches in from the blue line. Fired right back along the boards, back to Johnson by Miller. Rushing into the play is Locklear. You see Locklear in the black 11 jersey with Miller.
Big scrum here up against the boards. They got to get the puck moving.
3 bodies each side. Now 4 of the Demon Deacons are into that fray. And the Deacons bench is content. Keep the puck moving down there. Just killing time as we've now hit 5 minutes left in the third. 3 bodies for App State, 4 bodies for Wake in that scrum. And it finally gets knocked out. That scrum took 15 seconds off the clock. Here's a penalty coming up against the Deeks. That puck was into the netting, but no whistle. And finally, the Deeks will touch up. It's interference coming up against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And this might be the opportunity that Appalachian State needed.
Yeah, App State needed a momentum shift. I mean, when you're looking at that scrum in the corner, you're like, man, that's just not what you want. You're wasting time, precious time off the clock. And App State gets one here and just has a chance as they call their timeout here with just under 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes left.
This is a massive power play, and you gotta wonder. I mean, this is just the season opening game. It's not a league game for either of these two teams, but how early do you pull the goalie and try to start working on that 2-man advantage, trying to work on that situation where you're down late and you have the extra attacker? This is a situation where we're still a little too far out, in my opinion, 4:39. If this was a playoff game, you'd probably see Wilcox go to the bench here.
Yeah.
But in game 1 of the season, you're probably not going to take your goalie out at this point.
Yeah.
But, again, with a new head coach, a whole new coaching staff, this is one of those decisions where a decision has to be made. And it could make or break your season later on down the line. So getting all of that preparation in, with that extra attacker, it could mean all the world.
Yeah.
But Wilcox is going to head back to the crease here, so no extra attacker yet. It's just a 1-man advantage for App State.
Yeah, I mean, you might, if you're the Appalachian State Mountaineers, you might want to come out the gate swinging for the fences and just, like you mentioned, just pull the goalie a little bit earlier here in this first game. But we'll see what that new coaching staff up in Boone is going to do.
Casey tried to catch the saucer feed from his new teammate Arnett, but the Demon Deacon Killers will send it out. Miller on the backhand, he's run into by Farland. Deeks are offside, but they don't touch. Tremont to Miller. Casey from one side of the ice to the other. It wasn't able to be caught by Casper. Tremont got it to Casey, who sends it in. And Palumbo will cover. He gets a snow shower from Tremont, and the Deeks aren't going to like that too much. Tremont sends a shove after the play, too. And the scratches for Wake Forest over by the locker room are calling for a penalty. They're not going to get one yet, but we'll see. We're under 4 minutes left, 1:17 left on the man advantage. And they're going to keep that same unit out there, are the App State Mountaineers.
Yeah. I think that's a smart play there by Palumbo, though, to cover that puck outside of his crease and just get the puck on a scrum in those face-off circles. It's a high IQ play for the freshman.
No, I totally agree. Very good to see from a freshman netminder, as there's a shot that could have leaked in, but Palumbo, a good job to seal the post up high, makes the save. And I mean, Patrick Casey, you got to look at him there, 85 in black. He has been all over the place tonight. He has the most recent goal for App State. It was a beauty. And he's been moving the puck very well. Great vision, as there's a slap shot from the captain, Casper, that goes high.
Yeah, both those guys have just done incredible. Here's an interesting chance.
Yeah, Miller looked like he thought he was being interfered with by the Wake Forest bench. But no whistle.
I mean, it's not often that you see a 1-on-0 chance like that.
Here comes Casey. He lost it. Miller slaps it back to Casey. Keeps it moving. On the backhand and trying to find Casper that time was Tremont. Couldn't do so. That one's gloved down. And Casey had it fall to his stick to Miller. Miller fires a shot, got a tip. Here's a wrap chance on the post, and able to seal it is Palumbo. No shot on by App State. There was a lot of room over there, though. 12 seconds left on the power play. Casey sends it up high. There's a slapper, tipped in front. Comes to Casey. His shot wide of the mark. And that'll do it for the power play. We're back to 5-on-5. A big kill from the Deacs.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty kill to keep that momentum, to keep that insurance goal of 4-3.
Tipped in, they score! Oh my! Sam Casper, the captain, brings it back within 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible tip. Like, you get it right where the goalie can't find it, right under his left arm blocker side, and we'll get another look at that.
Couldn't tell if it was tipped or if that puck had eyes on the blue line. That goal will either belong to Tremont or Casper. Not quite sure. But 4-3 the score with 2:27 left to go. This game just got a whole lot more interesting, Ben.
Yeah, Wake Forest no longer has that insurance goal.
Well, and when does Wilcox go to the bench now?
Yeah,
because with
absolutely.
a 2-goal lead, you maybe don't pull him at all. Here's a chance now. Charging all the way in. This is a penalty coming up against the Demon Deacons. They touch up. Will it be a penalty shot? Yes.
Wow, this is huge for the Appalachia State Mountaineers here. The arena's buzzing here with all those home fans.
Oh, here we go. The most exciting play in hockey. Penalty shot coming up for Hogervorst. 1-goal game, 2:06 left on the clock. With the freshman netminder in between the pipes. This is as exciting as it gets, folks.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge test for Palumbo. I mean, you don't know if he's ever faced something like this before. And Hogervorst, excuse me, will have this opportunity to take this shot to even the game back up for this Mountaineers team. And just like that, Graham, the energy shifted
Oh,
again.
yeah, so quickly. All right, here we go. Hogervorst with the equalizer soon to be on his stick. Palumbo, the freshman, in between the pipes. Hogervorst. He scores! No, he thought he scored. He celebrated as if he had, but Palumbo made the save.
Yeah, right under the arm. He's moving with the puck, Palumbo is, and it gets caught up in his jersey, rings the post, and goes out to the left side. So that was a great save. He had that the entire way. Though he didn't have a grasp on it, it was moving with him.
That was as close as it gets. I mean, it got past Palumbo, it hits the post, but the iron helps out the goalie.
Oh, yeah. It's his best friend.
Well, and this is an interesting situation because this brings in the question. In college hockey, when you draw a penalty shot, you have the option to decline it and take a power play instead. App State chose to take the penalty shot, and obviously, hindsight 2020, but down by 1 with 2 minutes left, you have a penalty. Would you rather have the 2-man advantage, you pull the goalie, and you're playing 6-on-4 hockey, or you take the penalty shot with the chance to tie it?
Yeah, that's going to be the question, I guess, but I feel like they had a great opportunity there. It just didn't really work out for them, the Mountaineers.
Wilcox going to the bench, extra attacker out. Empty net for App State. A minute 17 left on the clock here. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! You heard the official count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skaters on the ice for App State. He had no idea that the goalie had left the bench, and the App State bench was immediately incensed.
I mean, furious.
Wow. I have never seen an entire bench point at the same direction and scream so loudly at the same time. Wow.
Wow.
And so that whistle hurts App State one way or the other because it forces a face-off, and Wilcox has to go back to the crease rather than keeping the continuous play moving.
Wow. I mean, that's a mishap there from the goalie.
Wow. I can honestly say that I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, I mean, if the Mountaineers, they had a chance to be back in this game, and that just killed a lot of it. Unfortunately for the Mountaineers, that's not against them.
43 seconds left, and Wilcox is heading to the bench again. Casper couldn't keep it. No, Wilcox will have to head back. There's a shot fired on, and Wilcox will cover it for a face-off.
I mean, the fans are not having it either. They've been chirping this goalie this referee for the past, 15 seconds, 30 seconds.
As broadcasters, we try to be as neutral as possible, but that is a brutal call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in a late game situation with a 1-goal difference. Really hurts App State.
Yeah. And they're just chipping away more and more time. It is Wake Forest.
24 seconds left on the clock here, and App State down 1. Wake Forest looking to get their first win of the year under their belts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that happened, but one of the Wake Forest sticks got sent halfway across the ice, and they weren't too happy about that.
Puck clears the zone, but App State, again, they've been forced to play in their defensive half of the ice ever since that whistle with a minute left. And Wilcox will have to glove and cover this one again. This is a penalty coming up, though, against the Demon Deacons. They're going to call a penalty on Wake Forest Quinn Farland. Or no, it must have been something said by it was something said by an App State player. I thought that they were going to get Farland for running interference on Wilcox at the end of the play, but instead, it's Seth Johnson who goes to the box, the junior defenseman, and that'll all but do it for this game. I mean, App State drawing the penalty shot with 2 minutes left. They had just scored the proximate goal to bring themselves within 1. Chance for the equalizer, and this game turned like that on a dime.
Yeah, it did. And unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on that penalty shot.
There's a massive hit.
I mean, Wake Forest looks impressive starting into this season.
And this game's getting chippy. And they're going to call the game. They're going to keep both teams on their respective halves of the ice. But that'll do it for this one, and Wake Forest comes out victorious. It was a tight game, tied 1-1 at the end of the first, 2-2 at the end of the second. After a late goal with no time on the clock to beat the buzzer in the second period by Wake Forest to tie it at 2. And boy, this is going to be an animated handshake line.
Yeah.
4-3 the final here in Greensboro. Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, they come out on top 4-3 in a tightly contested game. The Appalachian State Mountaineers, they'll fall to 0-1. But the Mountaineers, the next time they play, it'll be right back tomorrow. They'll have a chance to draw back to 500 when they visit the Elon Phoenix. And for the Demon Deacons, that'll be it for this weekend. They'll play Virginia Tech next Friday on the road at 7 p.m. I've been Graham Tuck. You've been Ben Shelton. And thank you at home for watching. 4-3 the final. Wake Forest.